Other news, and of course the news we've been following now for over a week, is this disaster in George. And the South African Human Rights Commission says it asked the George municipality in the Western Cape to allow family members of the deceased in the collapsed building to identify their deceased loved ones without fear of arrest. The death toll from the collapse of the building has now risen to 33. 19 people are still missing. Forensic pathologists say 7 South Africans are among the 33 workers killed. 62 people have been pulled from the rubble. 12 of them are still in hospital and 19 others are unaccounted for. 18 of the deceased have so far been positively identified, and authorities say the fact that many of the workers were undocumented is complicating the identification process. So for the latest updates on the building collapse in George, we cross now to SABC News' reporter Lerato Fekisi. Lerato, you made us aware a bit earlier of some cultural ceremonies that were taking place in terms of collecting the spirit of those that have deceased, and we can still see that there are, sniffer dogs and people tirelessly searching. Perhaps give us an update as to what's been happening this morning whilst we haven't been with you.
Today marks exactly 208 hours since the tragedy took place in George last week. And like you said, it's been a frantic search to try and make sure that the 19 people unaccounted for are found. It's been long hours. We worked until 6 o'clock in the evening, and when we left, another team was coming to take over to continue with the search. We've now left that site where, like you said earlier on, there was a cultural practice done by a family of one of the deceased who took the deceased spirit with them and had a little ceremony there, and that you saw those visuals here on Morning Live. But now we're outside the main hall where as of 8:30, foreign nationals will come, gather outside here to literally wait to hear if their loved ones are inside or have been found or identified inside. So what you'll normally see as of 8:30 this morning is people literally gathered outside here with documentations, with affidavits, with pictures to go inside and see if their loved ones are on the list of those that have been found, and then to try go through the painful process of identification. Most of the people that we talked to yesterday were Malawians and also some Zimbabweans, who were just speaking about, like you said, the hard part of identification for various reasons. Number one, you said an important part that many of the nationals that are working, foreign nationals, are not documented. So then it's hard to identify where exactly they come from. Most of them have bodies that are decomposed, so it's hard to pick out who is exactly who. They've had to rely on DNA testing. They've had to rely on looking at things such as old scars and tattoos. But still, it has been hard. Even with that, we met a man yesterday who was saying that they'd asked him to bring a photo of the man he claimed to be a friend of his when they moved to George and were part of the construction team that were working on that day. And he said when he arrived here, the people inside the building said that the picture that he brought was not sufficient because the man that was lying and compared to what was shown by the man of the picture were not corresponding. And the man was frustrated, saying that I know it's the man, but because his body was so badly decomposed, they still cannot release the man into this friend's hands. So it's really been frustrating and a tough times for the forensic department who are working around the clock, but they really have done well, and because as of yesterday we had 6 identified, now we've got 18 identified, which is really a huge increase from yesterday, and we're hoping that more will be identified. And also another challenge, Leanne, is the issue of repatriation. Many of those who have lost their loved ones here have identified them with the 18, but are now asking themselves, how do we transport these people back home when a bus is 44,000 rand per person, let alone to transport the body? And they are saying that no one yet, not even the company that's allegedly involved in this, has come forward to say we are committing ourselves to ensuring that we assist you with the bare minimum of at least transporting your loved ones back to their home of residence. So they are most of the people here are really frustrated that yes, they found their loved ones, yes, they've been able to identify them, but now how do we take them back home? And that's been the frustration now.
Yeah, indeed. All right. Thank you so much, Lerato, for that update on the story in George. And of course, that search continues, and you can hear about all the wrangling issues that are surrounding this particular story. And no doubt it's going to get more and more as time goes by.